I play Heroes of the Storm. Trying to stop playing League, but you're addicted? I'm decent at Smash. Most of my friends can't play with me, but I don't play WoW. I have CSGO, but I haven't played it very much. Heroes of the Storm I've played a lot. I've played a lot of Heroes. And DayZ I don't have, so. But I do play a shit ton of League. Like a whole crap ton of League. And then Heroes I need to reinstall still, but I haven't yet, so I uninstalled it a while ago. For whatever reason, I played Johanna for a little bit. I got her skin as well. Because I like to buy skins in games and stuff. I bought her skin as well, and then I played her a few days, and then I kind of quit after that. And I just haven't played since. There's been like 6 new heroes since the last time I played. Because Johanna was the last new hero I played. I've looked at all the new heroes as they've been revealed and stuff, so I'm not like behind, you know. I know what they do, I know what their classes are and such, so some stuff fighting. I want to focus on the pulse work center.
Thanks.
Why are you focusing on those guys? Wait, maybe they weren't fighting. It looked like they were fighting. Oh yeah, they're missing HP, so yeah, they were fighting at first.
Thank you.
I need to go to... Why do I only have medic on one freaking paradigm? That's so stupid. I need to fucking switch that. Stop curing her, please. That guy's gonna run out of his fucking bar. Okay, we're gonna go with decimation. Oh, whoa, he still has his bar. Okay, we hit him with the commando. Now we're gonna go to try disaster. Fuck the bitch up. Going back to protection. Snow's dying. Cure him. Her haste ran out? Oh, she still has it. It's just an animator. Go back to aggression to finish the pulse work Centurion. Oh yeah, look at that. They're so weak. Definitely the right guy to focus. If I ever get a Wii U, I'm going to stream the Wii U, because I don't have a Wii U anymore. But I have a lot of time put into League. Like it's a little disgusting by this point. And a lot of money put into it. It's doing that thing again where it doesn't want to alt-tab correctly. Like, it's hard to explain what happens, but basically if I alt-tab to go look at the chat, sometimes the game just doesn't retake priority. There we go, got it. Heroes is a good game to play, so it's like, it's definitely not a bad thing to play Heroes. Kinda wanna just run past these guys, is that even possible? Should've went for the sneak attack. Pulse work Centurion. Go try Disaster to freaking rack up his bar a little bit higher. He does not take shit for damage. Please live through the self-destruct? Like, Jesus. Oh wait, they're both self-destructing. And I think Lightning's dead. Protection. Heal, heal, Lightning, heal. Lightning, heal. Lightning, heal. Please tell me I end at Lightning. Thank you. I see OMG, I'm per. I'm gonna check what you said in just a second. Back to Decimation. Back to Decimation. Back to Try Disaster. He's like fully healed, full health almost. That's so ridiculous, man. You have to trigger his stagger in order to damage him, which makes a lot of sense, and it's a cool mechanic, but... And then once you trigger his stagger, he melts. This bitch be melting. Boom,
That's
melted.
how it's done.
Checking the chat. It's 60 gigabytes on Steam because they include the Japanese sound files. Like the whole Japanese version of the game is included in there. There's a whole folder that you can delete and it works right. It's really weird, but I already looked into it with people and stuff. And yeah. I don't know. I don't know why it's a full 60 gigabytes, but I'm pretty sure it's because they include the Japanese voices. Like, I can't say for certain, but I'm pretty sure you can go to settings. It's something like that. Like, I've heard from people, there's a whole file in the game that you can delete. There's like a whole folder full of files that you can delete and the game still runs. And I think it's other language settings for the game. I'm not entirely sure though. Could have swore it was Japanese voices. Like whenever you boot up the game, you can pick what audio you want, I think is what it is. If I find a save spot, I'll exit. I'll check it real quick. Speaker. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it's not on here, but I'm... Oh wait, I don't want to exit game. Crap. It's not on there, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. I don't fully remember. I'd have to go Google it again real quick. But yeah, 60 gigabytes is flabbergasting as all heck. Like, that's jarring. Like, you're like, what? My Windows side for my MacBook, I only gave it 250 gigabytes. So yeah, 60 gigabytes is a really big deal, and it's like, oh my fucking gosh, what the fuck? Is there a save spot over here? Good. I'm gonna go ahead and exit real quick. Just for the sake of, I want to check what time I'm at on OBS too, so I know about when to cut it off, because I beat the Eidolon, and then I'll... Because, I do YouTube videos out of all this, so... Let me make sure I save real quick. Save. Okay, we're gonna exit game real quick. I'm still gonna reload it. 119, okay. Oh no, wait, I want the videos to only be about an hour long, so... Just... okay. Go back to my Steam. I'm reloading it real quick. Oh wait, your friend request. That's what I need to do as well. I see the little green envelope up there, and I'm gonna approve it right now. I have a lot of games. I bought a lot of games to stream them too, but I'm still in the middle of 2 JRPGs, so it's like, damn. What? I have Fairy Fencer F going, and then I have Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13 I started eons ago, but then I got to the part, yeah, see, English versus Japanese. I could go into my games files too. You know what? Let me do that real quick. Just real quick. Computer. I'm gonna look it up and see if there's like a whole Japanese like designated folder. Because there's a setting before you launch the game to launch it in Japanese or launch it in English, so I'm pretty sure they have both versions of the game on there. How it goes from being 22 to 60 is weird. Doesn't it go from 22 to being whatever, 44? I think wasn't there DLC for Final Fantasy 13 and I think this comes with it? Maybe? Not entirely sure how that all works. I just kind of accepted it. I bought it too. I bought this and I bought 13 too. My first thought was like, yes, I can stream these, you know? Um, but also it just shows support for the PC gaming side of the JRPGs. And as you can see, they're starting to import them like crazy to PC. Tales of Zestiria came out. Um, I don't think we've gotten another Tales game. We're getting Tales of Symphonia in January, the HD port. We've gotten damn near every single Final Fantasy. Type 0 came, 13 came, 13.2 came, um, 13.3 is going to come eventually. Maybe even 15 comes, and maybe even the HD remake for Final Fantasy 7 comes eventually. The HD remake for Final Fantasy 7 isn't PS4 exclusive. The trailer said play it first on PS4. There's no way in hell Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be multi-console and the remake for Final Fantasy 7 isn't. Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy are like their two biggest selling things. Type 0 was multi-console. 15 is going to be multi-console. Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be multi-console. I have no trouble telling people that Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be multi-console. I don't believe it for a second that it's not going to. I don't see it not happening. I don't see it. Okay, I can't exactly find the files for sure. There's a white data and then a common red list. But like movie, I heard somewhere that they have the whole Japanese file on here. So I don't know, if you go Google it, like they tell you there's a whole file set up that you can just up and delete and it'll be fine. I can't completely tell you for certain that that's the case. I think it is the case that there's a whole 30. You know what? Let me Google it on my phone real quick. I don't want to keep saying this and be like, oh, I'm not sure. 'Cause I am pretty sure. I might be false. I don't want to. I bought it and I was okay with the 60 gigabytes because I wanted to support Square, obviously, because I love Square. I wanted to support JRPGs getting ported to PC. I wanted to support this genre coming to PC in general, you know? We need it. Like, PC does well on its own, yes, right? But RPG-wise, PC sucks. Outside of MMOs, PC sucks for RPGs. And it's like, yes, I'm going to support that because I want to see it. Fantasy 13 60 GB PC. Okay, I'm clicking a Kotaku article right now. Hope you've got a big hard drive. Final Fantasy 13, which came out today on Steam, is a whopping 60 gigabytes, probably because of all those cutscenes. It's locked at 720p too, so you might want to wait for someone to conjure up an HD patch before you check this one out. No, I don't care about that. Possible explanation for 60 gigabytes? Possibly could be that the extra 22 gigabytes are coming from all the Japanese audio. Yeah, See, most people are theorizing. There's a Japanese version there, like, and for them, the audio is the whole cutscene. The whole movies are saved as MP4 type files and shit. So it takes up a lot of space. I'm pretty sure there's a whole slew of folders that you can just upload this. I don't think I want to fight that thing up there, so we're just gonna run around. Nope, we didn't make it. GG. GG, we didn't make it. Oh wait, we don't want to fight the Cryogen, we want to fight the Pulse Rocket. Although those three things are gonna explode and it's gonna hurt. Like, we're self-destructing right now. I think we want to go to protection. No, stop taking so long to shift. Oh. Okay. I'm not dogging on piracy or anything, you know. If you're gonna pirate, you're gonna pirate. I'm not one that's like, that's so morally corrupt. You shouldn't do that, you know. I don't bash people for it. If you want to do it, do it. And like, I do it to an extent. I mostly do it with games that I already own, but I want to stream. So it's like, The World Ends With You on DS and like Pokemon games on Game Boy and stuff. I'll get the emulator and stuff for them. PSP games that I already own, I get the emulator for. Oh my god, they all found me. The fuck away from me. But I try to support. Like, I don't even download my music illegally. I think the industries are doing okay even if people do it. I support. That's all. You know, and if people want to do the downloading and stuff, pirating and stuff, that's fine. Like, go ahead and do it. I'm not hating you for it. Just, I don't like when people bash on me for it. They're like, you spend money on League of Legends, why do you do that? It's a free game. It's like, do you realize if people didn't spend money on League, the game wouldn't be around, right? You do realize this? It needs people like me that spend mass amounts of money. That's where most of free-to-play games' money come from. It's the super fans who spend a shit ton on the game. That's what keeps them alive. It's as simple as that. And you know, like, people are like, oh, ew, gross. You're gonna pay for YouTube Red when you can just get ad blocker? Why the fuck are you gonna do that? It's like, because I like to support the developers and content creators, so I let the ads go, and then if they give me an option to pay for a subscription that keeps away ads, then I do it. Like, it's not wrong for me to want to show my support for things, you know. Just like, I don't fully expect people to be like, I don't expect to be like, oh, it's wrong to pirate. I don't agree with it. That's my personal prerogative. But I'm not gonna bash people for it, you know. I'm gonna accept people for it. I'm just gonna do it if you want to do it. Just know that it is ultimately stealing money from the companies. That's all I ask. Of anybody that pirates, uses ad block, you know, whatever, just know that you are stealing money from hardworking people. That I'm not bashing on it, okay? And plenty of people that pirate realize this. Plenty of them do actively buy the games. Plenty of them do pirate for the sake of trying a game, and then they'll unpirate the game, they'll delete it all, and then they'll go buy it. You know? The industries are doing fine, right? Piracy is an issue if it bleeds too long, but it's not, like, the issue in my book. And I'm not really... I just want people to know. That's all I ask, you know? It's like the same thing if you're gonna go and... I don't know, I can't even think of an example, you know? It's just know what you're doing
We're almost there.
and own up to it, right? That's what I do, okay? I know what I'm doing and I own up to it. And I don't think it's wrong. You do what you have to do. You want to play a game, you don't have the money to legit spend on it. Pirate it. You know, whatever. Do it. But that's just me. As somebody that wants to get into the industry myself, I'm very adamant about it. Like, I want to get into either the music, the movie, or the game industry on the content creation side more so. But if I write about them or review them, develop tech for them or whatever, you know, that's cool too. So I'm really, really adamant about it. I'm really, really adamant about being in the right side of things versus the deemed wrong side. I don't think it's the wrong side myself. It's just I'm not Yeah, I mean if you want to pirate it, yeah, see like you buy games, it's not bad, right? It's not bad to pirate games. Like, and I know, I can tell because you buy the games for $60. I know that you realize, right, that it's like you're kind of taking money. But at the end of the day, Fallout 4 sold 12 million copies in its first day out. Pornhub lost like 20% of its audience on the day Fallout came out. Like, they are not hurting if a few people pirate it, so I'm not gonna freak out about it. Now, indie games, pirating indie games, that's where I get freaked out. Like, not super freaked out, right? Because those are the people that they need it. And that's the same thing with like YouTube, right? Okay, if you have ad block on and you go watch PewDiePie or something, right? The dude has so many views, so many viewers, so many people like me who will keep ad block on that it's not gonna hurt him. He's still gonna draw in lots of money for it. But if you have ad block on and you go watch a smaller channel, you're cutting into them big time. And you know, again, it's do it if you want to do it. Most people keep my view, do it if you want to do it, but I don't do it personally, that's me. It's just I don't want to sound like a douchebag or anything. I'm not trying to. Like, you know, I accept piracy for what it is. I accept people don't want to spend money when they work hard for their money. You know, I'm just a super avid gamer and music enthusiast and movie enthusiast to the point where I will shell out that money for it. I am going to shell out that money for it. I will not play it until I can buy it. You know, like on occasion I've pirated a game to try it out because I'm legitimately concerned if I'm going to like it, but I just do it for the 24 hours, I delete it, and then I go buy it. If I liked it. If I didn't like it, well then, sorry, I pirated your game for 24 hours and then deleted it. And then like the games that I stream that are pirated, I own them all. I just download them onto my PC so that I can stream them. Because I don't have the money for a capture card, so it's like like, adblock's fine too. Like, honestly, if people used adblock on me, if I was partnered or my YouTube was monetized or whatever, and people used adblock, you know, that's fine. Your prerogative. I'm not gonna hate you for it. I don't want to fight these guys. It's just, that's just how I personally feel about it, you know, and I'm not gonna go and bash people for it, so I'd prefer if they don't go and bash me for what I view, you know. It's the same thing everybody that has my standpoint says, you know. If you're gonna use it, use it. Just acknowledge what you're doing. You know, just like if you steal from a store or something, just acknowledge what you're doing. You may really, really need to, you know, you may really need some food or medicine or whatever, so you're gonna steal from the store. That's your prerogative. Go ahead and do it. But just know that you are hurting employees at that store that are working hard to get money so that they can buy the stuff that you're stealing for themselves, right? Just know. do it if you're gonna do it. Like, and I'm not gonna bash people for it. And I understand money is hard. Money is legit hard to come by. Okay? Like, I've been unemployed for a month, applying freaking everywhere, and I can't find a job right now. And I'm still looking and desperately looking. So I get it. And I'm not bashing on it. It's just it's a very difficult thing to explain, really. It's it's really difficult. It gets into this whole moral gray
No way
line.
through.
I don't think it's morally
FLC must have been
corrupt
slacking.
to use ad block
Wait! Stop
or
already!
pirate,
Ugh,
you know?
the file peaks all over again.
Hey!
I'm not...
Get out of there!
It's weird, you know? I just accept everybody for who they are. Ultimately, you know, just as long as you're not drastically hurting people, like physically beating the shit out of them or killing people or
Is he
something,
trying
you
to
know?
stop it? You can do it! What are they doing?
I'm not a hater, you know? If people want to pirate, if people want to ad block, go ahead and do it. Like right now, if people are using ad block to watch my channels,
Guys. Good
I'm
lesson
fine.
for us.
I'm not
even
even
a mighty
monetizing it
FLC
myself. I'm
match
not
for the
getting
power of
anything
teamwork.
from the ads right now, you know?
That is inspiration right there.
But,
Save the sermons, old man. Let's hop
and
on
Google is
Trailblazer
fine
Week
on money,
while we
trust
still
me.
have a chance.
And like, if I had normal viewers and I was partnered and they did use ad block, that's fine too, you know? I'm not hating on it.
Come on.
I get it, and it's completely fine to do. It's just a really difficult subject for people to grasp and for people to understand. I live in Walmart. Yeah. See, I worked at Walmart and I'm trying to get my job back. They fired me. Get this. They fired me because I called off several days in a row due to having the flu. And I had already hit my 3 days that you're allowed to be absent in a 6-month period. 3 days in 6 months, that's like 1% of days that you're allowed to miss. That's ridiculous. Okay, I do, like, Walmart's cool. Walmart provides us with work. That's cool. They're trying to support their employees. They raised it to $9. Next month they're raising it to 10. Next year they're raising it to $10. Ultimately, though, they got some shady practices, but almost every company does. That's just the cold hard truth of the world, you know? And you do you, that's fine. And just like I do with people and pirating versus not pirating, etc., companies, you do you. Just don't drastically hurt people. Don't kill people. That's my basic premise. Don't kill people, don't emotionally scar people, and don't use people. It's really, really mixed up in my head, but did I say where I live? I'm pretty sure I answered you. I live in Arizona. Arizona. That little place right above Mexico with all the Mexicans and stuff that are really cool. I don't mean that sarcastically either. It's really cool. I I don't believe in immigration on the legal side of things personally. I think it's a really stupid process. I get it, especially whenever you look at like stuff that's happened in Paris and stuff, why you'd want to keep that stuff under wraps, you know. Of course there's the cartel and stuff like that. But I don't so many moral gray subject areas that it's kind of like it's it's difficult to completely wait. I've been here before. Yeah, that little place above Mexico. Well, some people don't know where states are, so it's like I'm south side of the US, right above Mexico, the littler state, you know? Whenever you compare Arizona to California and Texas, it's small, but it's about equal with a lot of other states, so I'm not, I don't know. I love people, you know? Very people loving person.
What you doing?
So as a whole, I'm not like, oh my gosh, freaking illegal
Sarah.
immigrants, you know?
Just tell her
It is what it is, and it's
we're all
like,
gonna
I
be
don't think
okay.
there's a need to freak out over it. That's like, that's like I was talking to somebody the other day about, about having a baby, right? Whenever you have a disease of some sort, right?
It's
Plenty of
okay.
people are like, I wouldn't want to pass that along,
Sarah, you'd been crying,
right?
hadn't you?
But,
Back when we first met?
and that's how I would personally think about it myself. I wouldn't want to pass that along. And I think it should be thought of as not wanting to pass that
This
along.
place was beautiful, and my
But
focus was to destroy it.
if
I
you,
decided to do nothing and wait to become a thief. But
if
because I did
you,
nothing, others got
if I
dragged into
fully
this
believed
nightmare,
that, a lot of
and
good
I was the
people in
one
the
to
world
blame.
wouldn't be born. You know? Like, there's a lot of good people that were born under
How's the
such
steak?
circumstances that it's like,
What? Fine.
you know, I'm not picky about
Much better.
subjects. I'm
Thanks
not
to you.
picky about the hows and whens and
Oh,
whys
sure,
of
don't
things. I
mind.
just
I'm
kind
not
of
keeping
let
you from
life
anything, am I?
flow and I don't
No,
overly
no.
worry it.
Don't worry. I could sit here for
Pirate,
hours.
don't pirate. Steal, don't steal. You know? Travel, don't
Hey, Sarah.
travel. Stay at home, don't stay at home. Marry, don't
Do you think
marry,
we'll
you
meet
know?
again?
Gay, don't be gay. Freaking
We might. Sure.
illegal immigrant, legal immigrant, you know? Do what your life feels right to you, what you feel you should be doing for your own
See,
well-being.
the
Just
thing
don't fuck
is,
over other people in the
I was chasing
process.
after someone,
Which is kind of where the baby thing gets a
and
little weird,
there's
because
something
you
I really hate to
technically are
apologize for.
fucking over somebody else in the process. You're
But
giving birth
I
to a
just can't even
baby
find the words.
and you're giving them a disease and you
Parents gotta be
know you're
tough,
giving
huh?
them a disease very
Yes.
likely. You know, you have AIDS, you have a baby, they get AIDS, you know you're doing
I
it.
even have
I
nightmares
think
about
AIDS can
it.
transmit that way. I know several STDs can. I'm not sure if AIDS is one of them. I'm
Well,
pretty sure it is though.
if it's too much to deal with,
I'm not
there's
completely
a
for
way to.
certain though. But you know, there's lots of cases
Really?
like that and it's like that's where it starts to get
Sometimes
gray.
things
There's
seem
little
easier
gray
when you look at
areas
them
to
from a distance, you
every
know?
single
But
subject
does that really
that
work?
it's crazy. And that's a large part of why I'm like, laws. What the fuck are
Of course,
laws? You
kid.
know, why do we.
I'll
I
let
get
you
why
know.
we have them, but they're really fucking weird when you really think about it.
Actually, I've been
Really,
trying
really
to keep
think
something
about
at
it.
a distance myself lately.
And that's overall where the issue with
But
police officers gets into a lot of the times
don't
too.
laugh, okay?
They they
It's a
follow
dream
those
I
laws
had.
and rules so
A
strictly,
bad one.
right? I read about this police
Turns I
officer
destroyed the
not too
world.
long ago. He
It's terrifying.
him and another police officer,
Needed some
they
time
pulled
alone.
over a family
Had me so
because
scared.
they had a bunch
I
of
tried to run
kids
away.
that weren't in car seats, right?
But then
Normally you'd get a
my
huge ass
boyfriend,
ticket, right?
he came chasing
But it was
after me.
obvious the family didn't have them in car seats
So I
because
understood.
they're
Running
poor.
away and leaving
So
behind a
giving them
really
$300
horrible
ticket per
isn't
kid or
enough.
whatever doesn't help the
And you might
situation.
just
So
want
what
to
the
keep them
officers
safe.
did
Cutting them out of your life
is
only
they
hurts them
went and
more.
they bought the family car seats for the
Point
kids
is, I have people I can count on.
and let them go.
I'll make it through.
And now that family has car seats for the
I
kids.
think you'll be fine.
They knew better
And
because
you
they're
will
using
be
the
too.
car seats now.
You'll find the
And they
words.
were
I'm sure.
crying about freaking having to pay the tickets and shit. And that's the right kind of law enforcement. The wrong kind of law
Sorry.
enforcement is the kind where you're just constantly
I'm
like,
so sorry.
this is the rule,
What else can
you're
I say?
fucked, you know?
I'm not the one you should be
There's so
asking
many
for
gray
now.
areas to everything.
what to say
The
when you
world is
find it.
not black and white, and that's what I wish people would understand, you know? It's not. It never will be. It never has been. It's not. It's not ever going
You
to
mean
be the
too much,
case. You're
Sarah.
never going to be this is right, that's wrong. There's always that middle ground.
I tried
Always,
to hide our focus.
always a
And
middle
she ended
ground.
up on the sea. wanted to say I was sorry, but
Well, when we rescue her, maybe you'll get the chance.
yeah, I hope so.
Come on.
I think Sarah saw the same vision of Ragnarok that we did.
I'm not trying to preach to you. This is stuff that just kind of come into my mind naturally, you know? I kind of just verb.
She handed
Verb isn't the
over
word.
to us, and that's what made her turn to Crystal.
I kind of just go. I just talk, you know? I get into really,
Yeah?
really deep conversations with people, and I can end up in really deep conversations with myself. Like, I get thinking so deeply that sometimes it boggles people's minds. Like, and I'm a very free-flowing and accepting person of things. I'm not... Well, sometimes it may sound like with the pirating thing and everything, and stealing if you need to steal or whatever, it may sound like I shun that, but I don't. I don't shun it at all. Like, I have an adamant viewpoint of myself where I'm not gonna steal, I'm not gonna pirate, and I just expect people to accept me for that, just like I'm gonna accept that people steal for it. I have people tell me they steal shit all the time. You know, I know people who do drugs and shit. I know people who are like have sex everywhere. I know people who are virgins, and you know, don't criticize the lifestyle. Accept everyone, love everyone. It's as simple as that. Just, it's simple. It's so simple. People are awesome. Why can't everybody just keep that in mind and just love everyone? It's as simple as that. And I feel like people lose too much sight over that. Crack baby. Oh yeah. Like, there's a lot of good in the world. We tend to just lose focus on the bad. And I feel like losing focus and focusing on the bad is where the world starts to get even worse. Because it makes, like me, for instance, right? Okay. I'm not bad. But you look at... Okay. The issue of women, right? In the rape situation, and you know, guys catcalling, or being like, you know, douchebag guys, right? Those single few guys, well, not single few, it's a lot of guys. There's a lot of fucked up guys out there, right? Those guys ruin it for the guys that really it's not all men, right? I get it, right? That's a stupid thing to say. I get it. And women cannot operate under the guise of not all men. They need to operate under the guise of all men. And that's really jarring and hurtful to guys like me that are just like, you know, they want to love and accept and, you know, just not hurt people, right? It's the same way whenever you look at like Christians and the West Baptist or the West whatever church or whatever, right? You don't look at that extremist church and go, all Christians suck, right? You know, KKK and white people. You don't look at the KKK and go, all white people suck. You know, Muslims and ISIS. You don't look at ISIS and go, all Muslims suck. But there's so many people that do it that, and because of that one group, you start to get skeptical, you know? Between the KKK and all these officers that are attacking black people, you know, the recent one with the officer flipping the child and breaking her arm and shit, and there's been all those shootings and shit, it's hard to not be like, white people are racist to black people, you know? It's really hard not to say that. It's really freaking hard, but it's not the case, obviously. It's the same thing with women, the guy thing, right? Guys catcalling, raping, molesting, you know, whatever, right? It's really hard to be like, not all guys, from a girl's perspective. It's like, with black people, it's hard to be like, not all white people, from their perspective, you know? It's hard from anyone's perspective to not single out a group because there's a large chunk of that, not a large chunk, but there's a concentrated group that's doing bad. And our minds always focus on the bad over the good. And it's simple as that. And like even my mind does it. And I desperately try and get my mind to think and stay in the positive. But like it's just human nature that it just freaking happens. And it really sucks. But it's just, you can't really fight it. It's really hard to fight it. And like, I don't know, it's weird.
Thanks.
It's a whole slew of subjects that just kind of come up in general for me.
Wide open.
And yeah, you can add me on Skype. It should still be Victorian Genetics. It might be Pro-Toxic Genetics, but my username is Victorian Genetics. I don't know if you can search... Oh god, I'm gonna die because I'm not paying attention. Maybe I can kill him without switching to medic. Even if I try and switch to medic, I'm still gonna die. Maybe I'll make it. This is all gonna be on YouTube, which kind of sucks it, because I don't want people misunderstanding me, right? It sucks to be a girl. Who's in my group casting Runga? Okay, I made it, whatever. I don't... You know, just because ISIS is bad doesn't mean all Muslims are bad, you know, just because... Actually, ISIS, logically, isn't Muslim because they're not the right kind of religion. It's as simple as that. Muslims love the world. All religions in general kind of love the world, you know, so like the Westboro Baptist Church, or whatever the fuck it's called, they don't represent Christianity. Hell, you might as well barely even call them Christianity if you're going to call them Christianity at all. Because Christians are generally pretty well-loving people. It's just there's these extremist groups that get stuck on their habits and shit. It's the same with like, of course, ISIS and Muslim, you know, KKK white people, you know, all that stuff. It's very hard not to be like, I need to be skeptical and safe about this. It's really hard. And I get that. And yeah, I don't stress, right? Okay, like, I don't stress out about sex. I'm not even about that, you know? I'm about finding a girl, and she's like a soulmate, right? And you're two halves of a whole. And like, even if the girl's asexual and never wants sex, there's a lot of asexual people that never want sex, right? But they do want intimacy, cuddling, hugging, you know, kissing, stuff like that, but they just don't have a sexual drive, like a raw sexual drive. I can live with that for my whole life. So if my soulmate turns up, and that's the type of person she is, then okay. That is perfectly fine. It's something to be accepted and loved. Everyone deserves to be loved. Everyone deserves to feel safe without having to be paranoid. Trans, freaking gay, freaking straight, bi, women, men, Muslim, Christian, everyone. Just flat out everyone, every single one of us deserve to feel loved, safe, and cared about without having to be paranoid about it. We should not have to be... The only thing we should have to be paranoid about is freaking illnesses, right? You know, animals, because animals a lot of the times can't control them. They need food, right? You can't even be mad at a lion when they eat you, really. Right? You can be afraid of a lion when they're hungry. You can't even be mad at a lion because they're just living. They're just doing them. You know? So it's like, those are the only things that we should logically have to be afraid of in this fucking world is, you know, natural shit. Natural, nature-based shit. Sadly, humans are nature, and they all kind of fucking, not all of them, but a lot of them kind of fucking suck. Like the Paris attack stuff, for instance. This guy's really strong. He didn't look like he was going to be that strong. Frost heals him. Can we not use frost on him? No, don't stop.
Thank you.
Do this one. I don't know. It's really confusing thing to explain overall. Everyone just... It's not even confusing really, right? You just straight up... She's missing with everything. This guy has a lot of HP. He's not dying for shit. It's just exactly what I said. Everyone deserves to be loved. Everyone deserves to be cared for. Everyone deserves to be safe. Everyone deserves the chance that they are meant to get, right?
Easy.
We all deserve it. Every single one of us deserve it. Even the bad people deserve it to an extent. But they're the reason why everyone isn't loved and cherished and stuff. Like, if we weren't a fucked up society, then it'd be fine. But unfortunately, we are. We are a fucked up society. We are a fucked up world. We cannot operate. It's as simple as that. There is no way in hell this world, anytime in my lifetime, is going to start operating correctly. I'm doing whatever the fuck I can to try and fix it, but I'm a single poor person, like, you know, trying. Like, I'll be at work, right, and people are like, we're cracking jokes, you know, like you do with your buds, right? You go at it with cracking jokes and shit, and they're like, and they cracked a joke at me about, I cracked a joke, they're like, oh, you go girl. I was like, that's not a burn. What are you doing? That's not a burn. I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm like, no, gender isn't a burn. They're like, yeah, it is. You just don't get it. And I was just immediately like, I get it that you're sexist and you're kind of stupid and ignorant. And then I just walk the fuck out, right? I call out people on the bullshit. It happened the other day. No, not the other day. It was about 2 months ago at work. Again, these guys were calling me out on my hair and, like, you know, the fact that I have a beard and everything and how it's hippie. And I was like, and like, because one of them had just gotten a fresh new haircut themselves. And so they're like, oh, I get lots of pussy because I don't look like a hippie like you. I was like, I'm not really after sex, so... I'm like, what do you mean you're not after sex? All guys are after sex. I'm like, no, there's a lot of us that aren't. They're like, but you have to want it, right? It's like, actually, I don't feel a huge want for it. Like, I have a sex drive of sorts, but it is not my key determining factor to a girl. It is nowhere near the top of the key defining factors for a girl. Just as appearance isn't, right? So it's like, and they're like, I don't get what you're saying. I'm like, I could be with a girl that just wants general intimacy and never wants sex ever, and I will love and accept her, and we will be the best couple you have ever fucking seen, regardless of not having sex. I will do everything for her in my power. I will love her, cherish her, just all the same as if I ended up with a girl that was a sex freak, you know? Freak, like crazy about sex and shit, you know? Same thing. That's not a determining factor. And like, they just get all super stupid about it, like, oh, but women are supposed to want sex, and like, oh, guys are supposed to want sex, and like, oh, a girl that doesn't want sex isn't worth our time, and all this other shit. I'm just like, no. Just fucking no. And I started telling them off, and then after I told them off, I just fucking walked away.
Sarah,
And they looked pissed.
what are you having up there?
Because, like, I use these really big words whenever I go at people for being
Look at
stupid,
that view.
ignorant
I
assholes.
say we set up camp right here tonight.
I use these really big words and shit that they don't get. And, like, they innately get so freaking pissed because they feel like you're belittling them. Well, that's what I'm fucking doing. I'm belittling you with my bigger mind, and you need to, like... You need to just realize that
How
what you...
soon?
Oh my god, this cutscene's fucking beautiful.
Same as we left her. Feels so far away now.
This cutscene is fucking
Sarah says
gorgeous.
She wants to talk. She'd probably prefer it if you skipped the lectures. Hey!
Once we're home, what's your plan? You're getting married, right?
What's that?
Sarah wants to know.
Don't scare me like
Oh my
that.
gosh.
You are getting married, aren't you? Don't you let her down.
So fucking pretty.
Don't worry. This tear will be her last. I'll make sure of that.
That's all I need to know.
It gives me chills watching this
You'll see it,
cutscene.
right?
Don't go there. No room for doubt.
You're right.
We'll see her again.
I love Snow and Lightning so much. Their characters are
You
so
convinced
cool.
me of that. So stay strong.
Don't worry.
I'm gonna read your thing in just a second. I'm really focused on the cutscene. I'm
We'll
sorry.
finish this and go see her together.
My stuff's still streaming, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I never know what happens, how I come across people's channels and stuff either. But it's fun whenever you run into that one channel where it's like, oh my gosh, you are so cool. Like, what is up with you? And yeah, I do chill. Like, and people are always like, you do drugs, right? And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't do marijuana even. I don't smoke. I don't do any of that stuff. I just chill the fuck out. And my mind is opened, you know? It used to be stupidly closed off. Up until about the age of 17 when I finally got the internet. And then as I browsed the internet, you know, got slowly into internet culture, started brewing and all that, it culminated to an opened mind. It culminated into me feeling sad about the way women are treated in this world and the way minorities are treated and such, and just trying my best to make sure that they aren't, from me, you know, mistreated and stuff. And I do what I can to try and educate other people, even if it's through a somewhat aggressive manner, into not being jackasses. So I've been through a lot hanging with the wrong people and such. I learned a lot. You're 21. I don't hang with too many people anymore, just family and my computer. That's more or less what happens with me. My family isn't the biggest thing for me though, honestly. It's just, I don't have too many people right now. I'm actually 25 myself. So it's like, I don't know, I just think in general, I don't even want to say I'm the perfect mindset, right? We all have our moments of not being perfect, right? But it's funny, like those situations at work, there were some girls around and they honestly start smirking and giggling over it, and like later they come up to me and tell me like, thank you for saying that. And it's stuff like that that makes you realize like you're doing the right thing. Even though I'm a guy and I don't have to put up, even though I'm a white male and I don't have to put up with like, oh, you know, blacks get paid less, women get paid less, you know, they're minorities that are not minorities, women aren't a minority, they're about 50-50 with male. But the fact that I'm not there honestly makes me a pretty pivotal part, even though I'm just one person and I'm in a very poor situation money-wise and everything, and I'm not like this huge voice to be heard. It's just as important for the privileged, right? Like I am. I have white privilege. I have male privilege. It's as simple as that. It's just as important for me to be enlightened and fight back against the bullshit as it is for the people that have to deal with the bullshit. Because women deal with the sexual harassment shit every single day. All my girlfriends girlfriends meaning gal pals, come up to me and they tell me of these instances where a guy felt them up on the freaking subway, or some guy freaking catcalled them, or and it happens all the time, right? And I hear about them like having these boyfriends that fuck with their mind like crazy and shit. And I'm just like, it breaks my fucking heart. Like, it legit breaks the shit out of my heart. And it's like we need so much change that every single one of us that are enlightened to the subject and are willing to fight how we can need to fight. We need to put up with the bullshit. Like, I get bullshit all the time for fighting it. Like, everybody at my work came to, except for a select few who are pretty enlightened and chill, and they'd realize these things. Almost everybody at my work was so old-fashioned and shit. They ended up hating me eventually because I was so outspoken and like against this mindset, this toxic mindset that exists, especially in the South, that women are lesser than men, and other races are lesser than white and all that stuff. But that's not the case at all. Like, I deal with it from my own freaking family. They talk down Obama and shit so much. So much. I just I wanna punch my own grandma and grandpa so often because of the way they talk about it. I'm just like, I want to punch you. And you're a senior citizen, and because I don't do violence, I'm not gonna actually punch you. But you make it really, really, really hard not to. I'll do violence if I have to, right?
So we just head through this foul seas layer to
I'll
get
do
to
violence
Airlock,
if I
right?
have to. A girl gets attacked in an alleyway or some shit, I'm gonna go and try and fucking help. A guy gets attacked in the alley, I'm gonna go try and fucking help. I'm gonna try and help people how I can through violence if I really fucking have to. But I'm not for violence in general, right? Violence, to solve violence even, tends to be rather iffy for me. But it's kind of what you have to do in dire situations, like somebody getting mugged in a corner, whatever. It's kind of what you're forced to do. So it's like I would in those situations, right? I see it, I recognize it, I will do what I have to. But like just being like, oh, I fucking hate you and stalking someone, no, I'd never fucking do that. I'd never fucking do that. No, I don't. You can only take one quest at a time. That's bullshit. What's my current quest? I just chill the fuck out, right? And I fear a lot of times that my wording on things gets me in trouble. But that's just people misunderstanding me. That's just people misunderstanding me, right? Because I just love and accept everyone. I love and accept everyone. And I think we all need to just do what we want to do in life. And just realize that our choices do have consequences to them, right? I mean, right back to the pirating and stuff. You are taking money from people. Whenever I do it, even just to try the game, I am taking money from people. Right? Because I'll try the game and then I'm like, I don't like this shit. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it. So I logically took money from that person, I buy used games. I'm logically taking money from the developers. And I realize that. I try not to buy used games that are brand new games. I will not go buy Smash Brothers new because Nintendo still makes it. I will not go buy Splatoon used because Nintendo still makes it. If they still make it in a physical form, I will not buy it used. I will only buy games used if I have to, pretty much. Occasionally there's been a slip up or two because I'm really strapped for money. Buying used games is right next to piracy. It's as simple as that. That's just my personal view. Buying used, I completely accept it. I've done it a lot myself. Whenever I don't have money or I have to trade in games and such, I do it. I do it myself, and me trading in games supports that, That's a whole nother moral gray area, honestly. GameStop isn't making the game industry go out of business. If anything, they're helping it, honestly. But at the same time, I can see developers like used games are fucking hurting us, you know? And that's why we're in a game industry market where DLC is so focused on, you know? Like DLC and like the whole year later, the Game of the Year edition will come out with all the DLC in there and stuff, you know? Because they want you to buy the game and stick around, keep the game. Keep the game because they are going to release DLC. And the DLC gets sales, and you can't sell back DLC. So, like, it's just overall a whole lot of... It's where the market needs to go. Like, even Nintendo's gone there with all the DLC for Smash and Mario Kart. And... etc. I don't know. I accept it all for what it is, and I'm not gonna hate on it. It's the same with movies. Yeah, it's all. If people want to pirate it, people want to buy used, you know, like, oh, Fallout 4 is used already, $55. Go ahead and buy it. But I myself normally spend the extra $5 to buy it new. I get the benefit of buying it new. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong Skype. That's my personal Skype, I think. My Skype right now has a picture of Cloud from Smash Brothers. I have two Skypes. I had a old Skype and then I have my new Skype, which is my current Skype. Right? My new Skype was my gaming Skype. You know, people wanted to add me to play League or whatever and voice chat with me. Okay, this is my Skype. It slowly became my main Skype because those people became my friends and stuff, and so the new Skype became the main Skype and the old Skype became the Smurf Skype and whatever. So it's Victorian Genetics as my tag right now, my current username that you can change. The name that you can't change is Pro-Toxic Genetics. It feels really good to buy shit to new. That's there too. Yeah, it's that one. I don't really use pictures of myself. I have a lot of self-doubt, look-wise, and I have security issues. If I get to know somebody really well and I give them my picture, that's a huge sign of trust for me. So, like, I use pictures of anime, video games, SNSD, like, my whole stream, right? Like, let me click through some stuff real quick. Like, here's my clients. This is my clients for League and MOBAs in general. This is what the client goes in, right? Okay, there's that one, there's that one, there's that one, and then there's that one, right? I use them as my, and then my whole About Me section down there, it's all 9 SNSD girls. So, I just made this overlay today. See, there's my AFK screen. There's my loading screen for League. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 4 for that. And then League itself, that one, I just made these bluish green ones today. Those are the ones I'm using right now. And then League itself, I have that one. That one is actually League Champions, but you know, it is what it is. I had to get rid of a bunch of League overlays because they switched the UI, and then I have that one. And they're my muse. Like, I love SNSD a lot, so I use them a lot. I'm not... It may seem weird to people, but that's just how I am. I use pictures of what I like. Simple as that. And yeah, I don't... So just send me if If you see the protoxic genetics, you can... Okay, you did send it. Cool. I'll accept it right now. Because I have Skype on my phone, so... Even though my Skype's not up on my computer, I can still accept it. I don't know what this mission is that I have. How do I see what mission I have? Map, inventory. Fuck it, I'll just take this new mission. I don't even care. Near Tajin Tower. Like, you can hit me up on Skype anytime. Like, I always have my phone signed into Skype. So even if I sleep or something, it's still there as online. The only times I shut it off, I sign out of Skype, is whenever I socially shut down, which does happen. I'm a very introverted person a lot of times. And like, I'll do, like, someone will get really mad at me or something. Or like, you know, they get really bitchy with me, or I say something that I feel like they're gonna overreact to or something. They do overreact, I mean, mostly. I'll just, and it builds up throughout the day. Like, if enough friends are just not talking to me, or, you know, they're getting really bitchy with me, whatever, you know, I'll end up socially shutting down for a solid few hours. I'll just log out of everything. And then just stop, because my mind just, it's open to everything, but I am susceptible to these things. I have a very